We're going to run TerraNeo next. This is Amazon, one of the 10 colors that are available. Obviously, it takes a color-coordinated color prime prior to the application of the finish. The specification basically states at minimum 4 hours. I prefer at least the day before if at all possible, especially on high humidity days like today. This finish is unique in that you have to apply it with your trowel almost flat. You'll notice that when I was troweling the finish a little bit earlier, from the side, if this is the wall, my trowel was almost like a 35 to 40 degree angle. You'll notice that when Al's applying the TerraNeo, his trowel is almost flat. If you have your trowel up on edge, put it up on edge, Al, so it drags the mica a little bit. See the difference? It'll pull that, but then it drags all the mica. What you're actually doing is seeding the mica. And so you're letting the mica determine the thickness, and that's critical with your contractor. You also notice that once Al's got it on the wall surface, his last stroke is always vertical. He doesn't pull it the opposite direction. You go one way with it. If you do, it basically pulls the mica back. A couple different techniques. Al likes to typically use a trowel and lay it down just like he's doing now. Some guys will use a plastic float, and it really depends upon skill level. If you're going to use a plastic float, you don't float the wall surface. All you're basically doing is just filling in any of the voids, just to seat the mica. So it's not like you're, okay? You don't float it like a typical finish. All it is you just slide it across the surface and fill in any of the voids. How are we on time?
On time?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. So in other words, you can leave it either way. At that point, you just leave it alone. Okay? So it really depends upon the skill level of the plaster applying the material. Typically what I'll do is if I hit with a float, just like I did, then I'll leave it alone for 30 minutes, regardless of weather conditions. At least 30 minutes. Then just take a clean stainless steel trowel, go one direction over it, holding the trowel almost perfectly flat. And it lays it down very, very smooth. It allows you to densify the aggregate into the matrix. And so that trowel has to be like this, not like this. Okay? So it's a much lighter touch.
That's what we got here.
Yeah, so what I was mentioning was the coverage per pail is 90 square feet. It's no more, no less. It's right at 90. That's exactly where it'll be. If they're getting more coverage, they're pulling it too tight, you're going to have bald spots. It needs to be right at 90 square feet. You'll notice that on the left and the right, when you hit it with a float and not floating it, it basically pulls more of the mica to the surface. So it's important that everyone use the same technique if you've got multiple people applying material on the wall. Choose one or the other. If you want more of the mica visible, then you can just slide a float over the top of that surface, leave it alone, walk away, and slide across the trowel in 30 minutes, which we'll do. Okay? As plasters, you'll find a lot of them want to come back and start messing with it. And when you do, you'll ruin it. The one unique thing about this product, if someone gets their hands in it and damages the surface, you can actually wait till it takes up, take your trowel and scrape off the excess, and I can go in and patch it and you won't see it. You do that with the kind of finish that we're typically accustomed to using, you're always going to see that, always. But with this, you can actually patch it and you won't even see it. So that's an advantage to that as well. These products both require a minimum temperature of 50 degrees for a 48-hour dry time. That means if you're anticipating thunderstorms tomorrow, there's a possibility that it can wash off, so you've got to protect it. So recognize it's 50 degrees. There's consistent cream with that.